people, we propose to release all the civilians, but Israel they refuse that. Our goal in this war.
By the way, I don't know if that was the case, but I would have never agreed to ending the war that they started if they offered all the civilians back. You don't get to start a war and then dictate the terms after. No, no, no. They need to be wiped because then that risk will come back.
Or in 7 October is to what's called to lift the siege on Gaza, to take soldiers, and Hussein just right, in order to free about 6,000 Palestinians. Some of them, they spent more than 40 or 30 years in the prison under oppression and humiliation. This is our goal.
I wonder what they did to end up in prison. Did they stab? Did they shoot? Did they run over? Did they work for your organization? Probably. That's why they're in prison. And they should stay in prison. In my opinion, they should get the death penalty.
And along the history of Hamas, we never used to rest against anyone. So I think what we are fighting in order to free our people, in order to fight against the occupation, in order to free our people, our land from the occupation. That Hamas is using or committing crimes against civilians. This is prohibited by our religions and our.
Why did you? Why in that case? Why did Hamas terrorists go to a music festival full of young people and massacre hundreds of those young people at a music festival? Tell me why they did that. If, as you say, there were no instructions to commit crime.
If you go back to some investigation done by Israeli.
Here we go again, Israel.
Newspaper. You see that many people killed by the Israeli forces, many Israeli citizens.
It's so funny because we can see Nova survivors saying that they have not seen Israeli soldiers killing other Nova goers. The only people claiming that are the Hamas terrorists and the Muslims supporting them and the people supporting them. Give us a break. We have seen the footage. We have seen the crimes you committed.
It's that time of year again, with school supplies as low as 25 cents.
Your pillow is a block of wood. Ask him. His neck doesn't turn, it ratchets.
By the Israeli forces, many of them with Hamas fighters entered inside the Green Line, the Israeli tanks and helicopters and all military weapons. They directed their fire to the Israeli citizens. They tried maybe to kill the members of Hamas, but they killed the citizens. I think you have to be very acute in this issue. If you go back to some Israeli investigation to understand Hamas was not directing its action against the civilians. Our goal is very clear. I don't deny that there's some mistakes happened at that time, but this is not our policy. This is not our goal. This is not our thinking.
Yeah, but Mr. Hamad, they were not mistakes. These were young Hamas terrorists who were going from home to home, massacring families in their homes, setting fire to them, butchering them with knives, gunning them down with guns. They were doing it all over that area when they attacked. They weren't mistakes. This was a coordinated plan of a terrorist attack. And for you to try and deny that is to deny what we all saw with our own eyes. And the reason we saw most of it is because the Hamas terrorists posted what they were doing onto social media platforms in real time because they were so proud of what they were doing.
Do you have any proof for that? Do you have a proof?
Yes.
Do you have a proof that Hamas
Yes, the proof came
from home to home to kill people?
Yes, there is enormous amounts of proof. What, you don't think Hamas killed any civilians that day?
No, I don't deny that there's some mistakes done. I don't deny that. But as I told
they weren't mistakes. They were killed deliberately.
No. I don't withstand this because I'm so confident that we as Hamas, that we did October 2nd, as I told you, in order to lift the siege on Gaza 3rd. That we sent people in order to free Gaza from the siege imposed on Gaza for more than 15 years.
But it didn't work, did it? Okay, let me assume. All right, Mr. Hamad, let me assume that was your plan. Right, and just before we get into my point about that, there is a report that you yourself left Gaza before October the 7th and haven't been back. Is that true?
I left Gaza before October 7th, that's right. But
and you haven't been back?
I wonder where he left. Why did he leave? Because he knew he was going to be a target? So he left the civilians there to die as collateral damage and he left? How egotistical.
It is normal. It's not something exceptional. Yeah. I left Gaza.
No, but you talk a lot. But you have talked. The reason I ask you is you talked a lot about the heroic martyrs on October the 7th. But where was your heroism? Where were you standing up for your people, given that you fled the country and went to Qatar rather than stay and fight, as you put it, the occupation?
Give me 1 minute. If you go back in October 6th, not October 7th, if you look at the situation in Gaza Strip, to ask yourself why Hamas did that. Before October 7th, that all Palestinians under occupation, been given all the time, and this Monterish and this what's called a crazy gang in Israel, they try first of all to destroy the Palestinian identity, killing Palestinians.
Because there was never a Palestinian identity. It's a made-up thing. There's no Palestinian identity. It's a lie.
Taking their lands, building more settlements, expanding settlements. There is no something. They destroy the peace process. They destroy everything, and the world is watching. Look at Israel, spoiled boy. Israel is very beautiful. We have to protect Israel and the Palestinians for 8 years under oppression. What do you expect the Palestinians to do? We have two options. Either we keep ourselves as slaves under the occupation and be very polite and throw flowers in the Israeli occupation, or to fight them, or to go in the other way. Either we go to the direction of peace or direction of violence. You don't give the Palestinians any option. The war, they keep the Palestinians under oppression all the time, doing nothing. So I think October 7th is justified. Justified because when you see that the Palestinians are killed every day and their lands are taken by these crazy gangs and everything is destroyed and we have no homeland, no identity, no flag, no spirit. Even they destroy the Palestinian Authority. They destroy the peace of Israel. What do you expect from the Palestinian people to do that? You want to keep silence? To keep silence for 80 years?
Maybe teach your children and your husbands and your wives not to go out to Israel to kill or to fire rockets from Gaza, and then we can come to the table and speak. Maybe that's what you should do instead of trying to kill as many Israelis as possible and commit as many terrorist attacks as possible. It's not going to make us bend. It's going to make us fight harder. It's going to make us build stricter borders, exactly against what you're expecting.
No one helped them.
My response to you. Listen, Mr. Hamad. I believe that Palestinians should have the exact same human rights as Israelis and anybody else. I believe in a two-state solution. I believe there should be a full state of Palestine, and that should be the way through.
Ditch the filters with Proactive, the clear skin routine developed by dermatologists. At the Juicy Crab, every dish is bursting with bold, fresh flavors. Pair your feast with handcrafted cocktails for the perfect match. Step into a lively space where great food meets great vibes. Share unforgettable moments with family and friends. Dive into juicy crab legs and flavorful seafood boils. Make seafood done right every time. The Juicy Crab isn't just a meal, it's an experience. Discover why Juicy never tasted so good. Your next delicious adventure starts here.
An angel came down after that dark, dark day, rolled that heavy stone away. The guards were shook, they couldn't believe the tomb was empty, Jesus was free. He is alive, hallelujah. The storm rolled away, it's true, yeah. Shout it out, dance and sing, Jesus is our risen King.
Why is there?
That's exactly the problem. Pierce, why should Israel exist? They don't even want Israel to exist. They don't believe in a two-state solution. They want the whole thing to be Palestine. They're saying it to our faces.
It should exist. Why?
No, let me make my...
Ask me the
the same
question. Why
reason
does
that you
it
should
exist?
exist.
to kill people?
I believe Israel has a right to. I believe Israel. I believe, Mr. Hamad. I believe that Israel and let me finish. I believe that Israel and Palestine both have a right to exist as independent states. There should be a two-state solution. I've always believed that. However, I would ask you this more difficult question. If what happened on October the 7th, as you put it, was justified, which I think is a grotesque defense of a terrorist attack, but let's assume for one moment you think that what you did that day was essential for getting what you wanted for the people of Gaza, then it's been a spectacular failure, hasn't it? Because nearly 80,000 people at least, probably many more, have been slaughtered by the IDF in response. 75–80% of Gaza has been flattened. The people that have been left in a tiny area of Gaza are living in the most appalling conditions. And you've now got Israeli ministers openly talking about an ethnic cleansing of both Gaza and the West Bank. So from a strategic point of view, whether you defend what you did on October the 7th or not, and I think it's indefensible, my question, Mr. Hamad, let me finish. Let me ask you the question. Do you accept that your strategy that day has been a spectacular failure?
Look, you look just to one side. I know you are a professional journalist, and I think you have to look with your two eyes. I know that we paid a big price, that's right. But it is not the truth. Since 1948, we paid more than 100,000 of people murdered by Israelis, 100,000 of prisoners, 100,000 of injured people. You know, this is a tragedy of the Palestinian tragedy continued for more than 80 years. So I think if you look at
Okay, the same BS, guys. I'm gonna put the full interview down in the link below. It's almost over, but there's more to the episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored, so make sure you watch it down in the description below. But what's so funny about this whole thing is that Piers is staying kind of blind to what he just told them. Why does Israel have a right to exist? Piers said, I believe in a two-state solution. And the guy in front of you who represents the other side, or some of the other side, said they don't have a right to exist. Why are you so naive and still think that there's an option for a two-state solution when one side will probably accept it, the other side will seek the destruction of the party accepting it? We tried to give Gaza back in the year 2005, and what did we get in return? Multiple wars coming from Gaza. Thousands of rockets coming from Gaza. The October 7th attack coming from Gaza. We are not the problem in this. They are. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit
Wawa recharge your energy drinks and refreshers, now starting at just $3. Gotta have a Wawa.
The Israelis and the
Good to speak to you. So, Rabbi, you've been speaking about me on your Torah lectures a little bit. You've seen that I've been speaking about you on Straight. I think that you're a breath of fresh air because at least you are honest about what you believe in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And apparently you're getting more messages from Muslims, and you condemn idol worshippers and you support the state of Israel and seem to have a lot of...
It's all your fault. Because of you, I cannot work anymore with Jews. All day I get emails from Muslims that wants to convert, and they want to, they thank me for opening their eyes. You know, you're bringing me a lot of things. I don't know, I mean, what's the point here?
Yeah.
People that are honest, they hear the truth, and people that are honest, they hear the truth, and they're beginning to have second thought.
Okay, so would you prefer that people convert to Judaism or that they follow the Noahide laws? Because I know that there's a distinction. When I run into the Jews spreading Judaism in public, it seems like they want the Goyim to follow the 7 Noahide laws.
Absolutely. The Goyim have to follow their purpose, which is to keep the 7 laws of Noah. They can be righteous Gentiles. They go to heaven when they die. They have no obligation to become Jewish. It's not easy to be a Jew. There's a lot of commandments to follow, and the lifestyle is very strict. And if the Gentile doesn't have an obligation, why putting him through that? So that's basically the general rule. But, some Gentiles it's not enough for them. They insist, they push, they want to convert to Judaism. If that's the case, then I help them to convert. But the first priority is to push them to fulfill their mission in life, which is to be righteous, good people, Gentiles, followers of God, believe in one God. No fake religions. There are thousands of fake religions and cults that came after Judaism, not just Islam and Christianity, Buddhism and Hinduism. There's thousands of others. All of them are fake. None of them have anything to do with God. And the Gentiles, all they have to do is just to keep the 7 laws. They can Google it. It's very easy. Most Gentiles keep about 5 or 6 of them as it is already. They have to make some adjustment, and they'll be righteous Gentiles. As long as they're not racist, anti-Semites, that they don't hate people because of their race, because of their color, because of their nationality. So they are decent people. They keep everything that is required by human logic, besides the 7 laws. They are considered righteous Gentiles, and the Talmud speaks very highly about those Gentiles. Very highly.
Okay, but what is the separation between, you said that Islam is a false religion, but under Islam, that does follow the Noahide laws, being a good person, not stealing, and not worshiping idols. This is Islamic belief.
Okay, first of all, you should know there are a lot of attempts to imitate Judaism. Islam is actually one of the better ones. There's other imitations that are very, very bad. Islam, they copy many of the laws of Judaism, like they don't eat pork, they don't charge interest from each other, they want to help the poor. Their wives are more modest, they pray 5 times a day, they wash their hands. They copy many of the things that the Jews do. Remember, Judaism is 2,000 years before Islam started. Judaism, it was the only main religion all over the world. It's before Buddhism, it's before Islam, it's before Christianity. It's 2,000 years before Islam, and it's 1,300 years before Christianity. Buddhism, for instance, Buddha was 2,400 years ago, so Judaism is 900 years before Buddha. Everyone adopted some of the concepts of Judaism. For instance, Islam, they are not idol worshippers. They believe in one God. They decided that Muhammad is the prophet. We disagree with that. I have 1,000 proof for you that Muhammad is not a prophet. He didn't even know how to read and write, and prophecy stopped already 900 years before he was born. God said to the Jews that after the destruction of the Second Temple, there will be no more prophecies. And the last prophet was Malachi, which was roughly around 2,200 years ago. And Muhammad is roughly around 1,300 years ago. So it cannot be that after 900 years that there was no prophet nowhere in the world, all of a sudden a non-Jew that doesn't know how to read, doesn't know how to write, all of a sudden will become a prophet. And of course, when you begin to analyze the Quran, I can show you hundreds of human errors that leaves no doubt that it has nothing to do with God. It's not the religion of God. However, if you ask my opinion, who I would like to be my friends and my neighbor, a Muslim that follow the Quran and some of the things they copy from Judaism, or a liberal atheist Jew that is anti-God, pro-abomination, and all kinds of liberal things that is against God, I would definitely, with no hesitation, would rather be friends with Arabs who follow Quran and follow some of the morality of the Torah, even though it comes from the Quran. They're not aware of the Torah. They don't know Quran copy from the Torah. But I would rather have friends and neighbors that are Arab, that are modest, that believe in one God and hate abomination and all kinds of good things among Muslims, than to be with liberal Jews. Because by me, it's either righteous or wicked. I don't care if you're Jewish or if you're Gentile. I love all people. I love righteous people, and I don't want anything to do with wicked people. Why? Because God told us in the Torah to stay